Welcome, everyone, to The Deep Dive, the Kenya Wanam Notam Movement, or KWM podcast.
Great to be here.
So what we do here is, well, we cut through all the noise, we take important sources, materials, articles, and really pull out the key insights for you.
Yeah, making complex stuff clear, engaging, hopefully digestible.
Exactly. And today, we're doing a deep dive into the Kenya Wanam Notam movement itself, looking at their core messages, their calls to action, especially around Kenya's struggle for justice.
And our main source for this is a specific KWM article, right?
That's right. It's titled, Kenya's Struggle for Justice: Why the DCI Should Focus on Corruption, Not Activists. Kenya Wanam Notam Movement, KWM. It was published July 2025.
A very pointed title. It really sets the stage.
It does. It asks some pretty critical questions right off the bat about, where justice is headed in Kenya, according to the KWM. Okay, let's unpack this.
Well, the first thing that jumps out from the article is how the KWM opens things up. They state pretty bluntly that Kenya's political landscape is in turmoil.
Turmoil. And what did they pin that on? What's the cause from their perspective?
It seems to be about misdirected priorities. The article portrays the government as, well, targeting outspoken activists like Boniface Mwangi.
Okay, someone they describe as daring to speak the truth.
Exactly. And they contrast that sharply with, and this is their claim, real criminals, corrupt politicians are left untouched, enjoying the fruits of stolen millions.
So right away they establish this tension. Who's being pursued versus who's being let off the hook.
Precisely. It's central to the KWM's whole argument in this piece.
And the KWM connects this directly to consequences for the country, right? To think about where that money could have gone.
Absolutely. They're very clear. They argue these stolen funds, I quote, could have been used to improve Kenya's health system, education sector, and support the livelihoods of farmers.
But instead,
the KWM asserts the country is stuck in an endless cycle of neglect while the people who need it most suffer.
Wow. So they draw a really direct line from alleged corruption and these misplaced priorities straight to, well, tangible suffering for ordinary Kenyans.
It's a powerful connection they're making. No ambiguity there.
Okay, so let's dig deeper into that. The article focuses quite a bit on the arrest of Boniface Mwangi. The KWM calls this a distraction. Why that framing? What's the argument?
Well, they're quite direct about it. They claim the police, the DCI, that's the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, they're seen by the KWM as being focused on arresting human rights defenders like Boniface Mwangi.
So targeting people speaking out.
That's the accusation. Targeting those who speak out against a broken system rather than, as they put it, going after the politicians and elites who are robbing the country blind.
And how do they portray Mwangi himself?
As a passionate advocate for the people. Framing him that way obviously strengthens their argument that his arrest is, well, a misdirection of resources and attention.
It's interesting. They seem to suggest it's not just an accident, but maybe a strategic choice.
That's definitely the implication. What's fascinating here is how the KWM positions this not just a mistake, but perhaps a deliberate tactic by the authorities.
And this focus on activists, from the KWM's viewpoint, it's a symptom of something bigger.
Yes, they say it shows a government that has basically lost touch with reality.
Lost touch with reality. How so?
They argue that the very same resources used against activists, well, those resources could have been used to build better hospitals, pay teachers a decent salary, and provide affordable health care to all Kenyans.
So the KWM is essentially outlining a completely different set of national priorities they believe should be followed.
Exactly. It's a stark contrast they're painting.
Okay, so beyond activists' arrests, what other sort of concrete evidence does the KWM article bring up regarding these alleged government failures? What's the impact they highlight on society?
They give some pretty specific examples to back up their claims. They talk about Kenya's hospitals, clinics, and schools being in crisis.
In crisis? That's strong language.
It is. And they elaborate medical professionals are underpaid and overworked. Schools are overcrowded. Farmers struggle to get the support they deserve. And the KWM's take is that the government just continues to look the other way, ignoring the urgent needs of the people.
And they directly challenge the lack of accountability.
Oh, absolutely. They ask very pointedly, where is the accountability for the corruption that has resulted in this dire state of affairs?
You mentioned this focus on public services is a recurring theme in other KWM materials, too.
Yes, it seems to be. For instance, they have another article titled, Where Are the Doctors? Where Are the Psychiatrists? Why President Ruto's mental health needs attention. Now, we're just reporting the title here, but it clearly points to similar concerns about systemic issues, healthcare in this case.
Right. And the contrast the KWM draws is, well, it's quite stark. They talk about corrupt individuals sitting comfortably.
In their mansions is the phrase they use, while the people they were meant to serve suffer. It's very evocative imagery.
Designed to highlight what they see as a deep injustice, a breakdown of trust.
Definitely.
Now, the KWM article also takes aim at the police force itself. It's quite critical. How exactly do they challenge the police's role in all this?
They challenge them very directly. They state the police force is meant to serve and protect, and that it must reflect on its purpose.
Reflect on its purpose. So, a call for introspection within the force.
Seems so. And they draw a very clear line. The true enemy isn't the people who are demanding change.
Okay, so who is the enemy, according to the KWM?
The true enemy is corruption and injustice, which, they claim, are wreaking havoc on Kenya's future.
So it's a significant reframing of who the police should be focusing on, in their view.
Absolutely. It's not just criticism. It feels like a call for the police to reconsider their fundamental role.
And they make a direct appeal to the police officers themselves.
Yes, they do, quite powerfully. State police are not just enforcing the will of the elites, they are meant to serve the Kenyan people.
A call to serve the people, not just the powerful.
Exactly. And then they say, it's time for the police to take a stand for their brothers, their sisters, and the future of the country.
That puts the choice squarely on the police, doesn't it? Who do you stand with? That seems to be the KWM's underlying question.
That's definitely the feeling you get from reading it. They see the police at a crossroads.
Okay, this seems to be where the KWM's message really comes together, crystallizes into a direct call for action in the article. What does that actually involve?
It's very straightforward. The demand is release Boniface Mwangi, arrest the real criminals. Simple as that.
But it's about more than just Mwangi's case, right?
Oh, for sure. The KWM emphasizes that his arrest, in their view, is not just an attack on a single individual, it's an attack on the very values that should guide our society: justice, equality, and accountability.
So it's symbolic of a larger issue concerning core societal values.
Precisely. And they follow that up by asserting the government cannot continue to silence those who are calling for change.
So it's a demand for release, but also a broader appeal for a fundamental shift.
Yes, a shift in values and a shift in focus. The core argument boils down to stop protecting the corrupt and start going after them.
And they put that challenge directly to the institutions involved.
They do. They ask the police and DCI point blank, will you continue to protect the corrupt or will you stand with the people who need you the most?
Highlighting what the KWM clearly sees as a pivotal moment, a crucial decision for those institutions.
Definitely framing it as a defining choice.
So, bringing this all together, what does the KWM article say this means for the Kenyan people? How are they described? And what's this price of silence they seem to hint at?
The KWM makes a really strong statement about public awareness. They assert, quite confidently, the people of Kenya are not blind. They see the truth.
They see the truth. What truth specifically?
They see the corruption. They see the broken promises. And because of this awareness, the KWM says the time for change is now.
So they believe the public is awake and demanding action.
That's the message. They state the Kenyan people are demanding accountability and they will not stop until they get it. It suggests a critical turning point, a popular awakening from the KWM perspective.
And Mwangi's arrest, in this context, is seen as
just the tip of the iceberg. The KWM views it as proof that Kenya's political system is deeply broken.
So again, it's not just one incident, but symptomatic of a much deeper systemic problem.
Exactly. It's about the whole system needing an overhaul, according to them. And their vision, quite clearly articulated, is for a new wave of leadership that is truly dedicated to serving the people, not just enriching the elites.
That idea of urgent systemic change really seems central to their message, looking at their other materials too. Like that title, Kenya is in ICU, the time for action is now, not tomorrow.
Yes, that title perfectly captures that sense of urgency and the need for fundamental, not incremental change that runs through their communications.
So this leads to a pretty important question that KWM seems to be posing, not just to the government, but maybe to everyone listening.
Right. The article basically ends with this challenge. Will the Kenyan government finally take responsibility for its failures, or will it continue to silence those who dare to speak out?
A direct challenge.
And then a confident assertion from the KWM. The truth will come to light no matter how hard the regime tries to hide it. The Kenyan people are ready for a change and they will fight for it. It's a real declaration of resolve.
And the Kenya Wanam Notam movement, positions itself as a key part of enabling that change, right?
Yeah.
As a platform.
That seems to be the idea. Empowering people, giving them a voice, a place to organize and share ideas.
Which brings us to an important point. If you, listening, feel inspired or motivated by what the KWM is saying, they want you to get involved.
That's the call to action.
Yes. Visit www.wantamnotam.com. That's WANTANOEMOTAM.com. You can create an account there, start sharing your own ideas that you think can help change your village, your city, your nation.
It's presented as a space for grassroots action.
Exactly. And it's worth remembering, this article we focused on today, it's just one example of the KWM's work. Looking at their website, it's clear they tackle a pretty wide range of issues.
Absolutely. We touched on a couple, but there are others. Titles like, What Will Save Kenya? 2027 Elections. No, Kenya must go the Burkina Faso way. Now again, just reporting the title. But it signals a real deep dissatisfaction with conventional paths.
Very provocative.
And another one, Kenya's election rigging scandal. The shameful truth behind the Ruto regime. Again, very blunt language addressing concerns about democratic processes.
So these additional titles, they really reinforce that core message we've been discussing.
Definitely. They consistently paint this picture from the KWM's perspective of a nation needing fundamental citizen-driven transformation. It's not just about one issue, but a whole system they see as failing.
So if we were to sort of boil it down, recap the core message from the KWM based on this material.
It really seems to be about empowerment, demanding accountability, and fundamentally the power that citizens have when they act together.
The idea that change comes from the people themselves.
That seems to be the cornerstone of their philosophy, yeah. That the people hold the key.
Which leads to a final thought, perhaps, for you, the listener.
What really stands out to you about this idea? About the power or maybe the potential of an informed, active citizenry in actually shaping the future of a nation?
It's a crucial question, one the KWM clearly wants people to think about very deeply. A great place to pause and reflect. And just one more reminder, if you want to engage directly, visit www.wantamnotam.com. Create your account, share your ideas, be part of that change.
WANTAMAM.UCAM.com.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Deep Dive, the Kenya Wantam Notam Movement, KWM Podcast.